Yeah, I think all ministry for me, first and foremost, is relational. In theological terms, we'd say incarnational, right? The unique thing about Jesus is that God's not content to stay way up here in some abstract concept, but God wants to come and be right with us, face to face, flesh and blood, eat with us, laugh with us, be with us. And so that's always been my philosophy of ministry in general as a pastor, but particularly being with students is my goal is to just simply be present with students. And then being there and being present in the high points, I think makes you trustworthy in the low points too, right? Where students are struggling with big things like losing family members, parents and grandparents and friends from back home, to just everyday things like being stressed out because it's college, right? It's your first semester here, and figuring out how to navigate through that. Being present is what creates those spaces for vulnerability and openness, where I think God really shows up in those interpersonal moments. I think servant leadership is just instilled deeply into who we are. And I think that same thing was true where I was a student. And I really think that's part of what helped make me into who I am today. And in my short time back, seeing that in so many places across campus into who we still are today. Jesus says, I've come not to be served, but to serve. And gives us this model of what that looks like. And McMurray just embodies that in so many different ways, inside and outside the classroom, in chapel and outside chapel, just in who we are. I credit McMurray as one of the most formative and influential places in my life that helped me get really clear on who I was, what my passions and gifts were, what I wanted to do with my life. And people that then poured into the confidence and encouragement in me to go and pursue that. And when the opportunity came available to come back and serve an institution that had been so formative for me, I thought this would be a really incredible privilege to return to a place that has helped make me who I am and offer that same gift back to a new generation of young people. So it feels like coming home in a lot of ways. They're familiar faces. All the religion faculty that I knew and studied with, other faculty members that I ran into my college algebra professor who came to a retirees thing that they asked me to come pray for my very first month or two back. Just folks who are familiar faces and friendly faces. One, it's just so invigorating being back on a college campus and among students. There is something deeply inspiring talking about learning from people younger than ourselves as much as we learn from those older. So, a university is an environment where younger people come to sit at the feet of folks who are older and have more wisdom to impart upon them, kind of essentially at its core, right? And yet, what we find, I'm sure faculty would attest to this as well, we find that as much as we are giving guidance or direction or mentorship or spiritual growth to our students as the professionals, I find myself just as deeply inspired by their lives of service. The ways they step up and take care of each other, the questions they ask, the ways they give back to the community. I think one of the most inspiring things is getting to live among these students who make me a better pastor and just flat out Christian at the end of the day by getting to live and be among them. And McMurray is just a great place to call home, There's something deeply special about this place, and to get to be back here. Been joking with folks, I said, how long do you think you're going to be here? I said, well, my wife and I bought our first house. We're hoping long enough to pay off the 30-year mortgage, right? But just an opportunity to reinvest in this place that has been so formative in my life and help send students out into their next season of life to do the thing that God has called them uniquely to do in education, in medicine, in public service, in so many sectors. I'm a real big believer that God has called all of us to do something unique with the particular gifts that we have, and to be in a place to help nurture those, mentor those, help young people find those, and then go and do that is just a real joy.